All right, are you all ready to find out? I'm Paige Hayhurst. I'm the Executive Director of the Living Museum, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of our guests and the staff and the media to Groundhog Day. Here at the Living Museum, we're very fortunate to have community support of the many injured and non-releasable animals that help us connect people to nature. So certainly one of these animals is our very own groundhog. And today we celebrate all groundhogs and gather in the tradition of Punxsutawney Phil to perform Hampton Roads' official Groundhog Day ceremony. And today our prognosticating groundhog will determine, with the assistance of WAVY-TV meteorologist Jeremy Wheeler, whether Hampton Roads will see 6 more weeks of winter or early spring. Groundhog, 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 groundhog. All right, thank you for making a path for him to come. So we're minutes away from announcing the name we will give to the Virginia Living Museum groundhog as his official procrastinating woodchuck for Hampton Roads and our entire coastal region. So first, I want to introduce our Curatorial Director, George Mathews, who will share some history of the groundhog.
Look, he's looking out. You see your nose?
George.
Thank you very much, guys, and what a beautiful day. Thanks for coming out. Has spring arrived yet or not? What do you think? Yeah. Well, we'll soon find out one way or the other. Our groundhog here is also known as a woodchuck because they like to eat sticks and chew on wood and bark and leaves. Also known as a whistle pig because when they get excited or want to alert another woodchuck that danger's around, they might let out a sharp whistle. And so they have 3 different names. So if you hear the name whistle pig, woodchuck, or groundhog, it is the same name. Our woodchuck is a boy. He's about 5 years old. When he was little, he had an ear infection, so we had to put drops in his ears for a couple of weeks, and because of that, he became too friendly to be released, and that's why he's here at the museum. Like a lot of animals at the museum, they've been orphaned or injured and can't be released into the wild because of that. Groundhogs will live about 8 or 10 years. This one weighs about 10 pounds, and we've had him for 5 years. In December and January, he was in a deep sleep. And you know what we call a deep sleep in the winter? What's that called? Very good. Hibernation. So he's been kind of in semi-hibernation. So we've been working with him for the last 3 or 4 weeks to kind of wake him up and get ready for his big day. So we also have another groundhog you'll see shortly when you walk around the museum that's kind of in training. He's in training to be used down the road in programming. This animal is not on exhibit, neither one is this, but they're both used in programming and special events here at the Living Museum. So hopefully in a few more minutes we'll find out what's going to happen in the next 6 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. And now it is my pleasure to introduce WAVY-TV meteorologist and official translator of our prognosticating groundhog. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to meteorologist Jeremy Wheeler.
All right, how's everybody doing today? Good. Hey, I know we got a couple little ones. There's a little bit of standing room down here if you want to try and come down. I know we got a big crowd, which I appreciate everybody coming out today. Beautiful weather. Last year we were freezing, we were frigid, and then I think the groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter. So yeah. So anyway, it was Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, when the first official trek to Gobbler's Knob took place in February 2nd, 1887, a long time ago. As the story goes, Punxsutawney Phil, the first weather forecasting groundhog, was named after King Philip. Prior to being called Philip, he was called Briar Groundhog. And for the 4th year, we will witness the prediction of the Virginia Living Museum groundhog here at the Virginia Living Museum. But first, we have a special announcement. The Virginia Living Museum has asked the Hampton Roads community to help find a name for the groundhog. Suggestions came from across the 7 cities, and of course you folks. The people of Hampton Roads voted for your favorite name. Voting took place online in a little polling station that they got set up here at the museum. And from over 1,000 votes, that's a lot of votes, cast since January 24th, we actually have a winner. So we're going to find out what the name of that is. The name's in an envelope now in the hands of Paige, or in the hands of Paige in a moment. Thank you. Now, before we reveal the name, I just want to get a little flavor, because some of you voted, but I just want to get a sense of what we've got here. So, by a show of hands, tell us the name you like best. There's 3 of them. Tell me which one you like best. Now, how about Chesapeake Chuck? Who voted for Chesapeake Chuck, or who wants to vote for Chesapeake Chuck? No? Oh, not a lot of hands. Okay, that's interesting. Well, we got a few back there. Colonial Clyde. Colonial Clyde. Yeah, we got a couple over here. Tidewater Ted. A lot for Tidewater Ted. Okay, yeah. Now remember, there's a lot of people voting across the whole area, so you may not get your one in there. But, okay, are we ready to reveal the name? Yeah? Okay. Go ahead.
All right, in 3rd place with 173 votes is Colonial Clyde. In 2nd place with 483 votes is Tidewater Ted. We might need a recount. Oh no! And the winning name is Chesapeake Chuck with 599 votes. So very close, people.
All right. Sorry, gang, if you didn't get your name, but that's all right. Maybe we can vote again someday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the Sears Virginia Living Museum Groundhog, forever to be known as Chesapeake Chuck. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this out, the groundhog. Beautiful animal, thanks, George. And we are going to kind of see whether there's the true bona fide shadow or not. I think we know what the answer is going to be, but we're going to do this scientifically speaking. So.
Of all those I don't have that on.
99% chance? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, after very scientific work here, hear ye, in Newport News, Virginia, on this glorious Groundhog Day, February 2nd, 2014. Chesapeake Chuck, seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, awoke to the call of Hampton Roads. He greeted his handler, George Mathews, and after casting a joyful eye towards his faithful followers, Chesapeake Chuck proclaimed, "A bright sky above me showed, my shadow beside me, so 6 more weeks of winter it will be." Please don't throw any food, because the woodchuck will probably try and eat it. So we don't.
Bye-bye.
Then again, hey, if the rest of the winter's like this, we'll be all right. Now, we're not completely done yet. We're actually doing something extra special today. Oh, yeah. There's a certain game happening later this afternoon or evening, right? Yeah? Who's having a party later? Who's going out there later? Yeah, lots of folks? Okay, all right. So what we're going to do, we're going to let Chesapeake Chuck determine who's going to win the Super Bowl. So what we've got is, he really likes corn. George said that he really likes corn, and we tried to place this about equidistant from where we're going to put the groundhog. We're going to lay him on the table and see which one he goes to first. So are you ready, George? Yeah?
We're ready. You didn't teach him how to read, did you?
May the best team win. Uh-oh.
That just means they're going down.
All right. At least we got one answer that most people seem to like, right? So we want to give very special thanks to Jeremy Wheeler for joining us today, and thank you for all of you for coming. And on behalf of Chesapeake Chuck and all the staff and volunteers, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Groundhog Day here at the Virginia Living Museum.